Hello everyone, we are Supply Queens and today we are honored to present our case study, Taming the Tea Supply Chains, Juggling Returns, Variety and Volatility. Before we begin, allow me to introduce our team members. My name is Rahmania, Sonya, Pramitha as team leaders. Along with me is Jihan Dwi Sachoya, Kezia, Novita and Titania, Khalidina. Together as Supply Queens, we bring a collaborative approach. It's contributing our unique perspective to solve SereniTea's supply chain challenges.
All right, before we continue on discussing our case, let us introduce our company. So SereniTea is an established Indonesian tea manufacturer which is navigating a period of a significant transformation. For years, the company has built its success on a traditional high-volume product line, and however, recent strategic pivots into modern, fast-moving consumer markets have exposed critical vulnerabilities in its operational and supply chain foundations. SereniTea has operated 10 plants across Sumatra, Java, and Bali and owns more than 1,500 hectares of tea plantations. There are 11 sales offices in Java, 35 distributors outside Java, 6 official e-commerce stores, and 27,500 points of sales. SereniTea main focus are on two products, which is Arunica, is a jasmine tea, and Senja, which is a fruity tea. The product itself has two types of packaging, which is RGB or known as return tea or one-way packaging. Our overview on today's discussion is first, stockouts in e-commerce versus accesses inventory in retail, which is talking about demand surges online that aren't matched with real-time replenishment. Second, production bottlenecks, which is there are shortages of empty bottles or noise increased policy causing demand distortion. Next, we have slow reverse logistic for Aronica or known as RGB bottles, high product variety and essential flavor, and last is losing Gen Z customers to faster competitors. Next, we're talking on our first case. It is a comparison of supply chain challenges between Arunica and Senjati. Through the summary table, we can see that there are many differences between both products. First, through aspects, Arunica only have one flavor, while Senja has 9 flavors such as strawberry, guava, blackcurrant, apple, lemon, passion, extreme, and many more. Through packaging, both products use RGB or known as written glass bottle and OWB or one-way products, but mainly use RGB, and Senja uses OVP. There are a variety of one-way product packaging such as Tetra Wedge, Tetra Can, plastic bottle, and many others. The key challenge in Arunica are bottle shortages, and in Senja is a storage keeping unit, or also known as SKU complexity and demand shortages. On demand pattern, Arunica has stable, predictable, and mass market. Meanwhile, on Senja is mainly strong in e-commerce and modern retail. Our main channel here in Arunica is production stoppages, while in Senja is a stock out online versus an overstock offline. Through the challenges, there are several challenges on Arunica and Senja. On Arunica, our challenge is on reverse logistic on RGB, and our solution is to manage by using closed loop supply chain and optimized route on recycled bottle. While Senja, our challenge is on demand unpredictability and inventory, and our solution is to manage inventory.
Okay, as you can see from the diagram, IBP is an end-to-end strategic process. It elevates traditional sales and operations planning by breaking down the excess organizational silos that are currently hindering SereniTea. Let's quickly walk through how each component of this IBP cycle directly addresses SereniTea's challenges. Demand planning. This is where we will tackle the volatility of the Sejam product line. Supply and manufacturing planning. This directly addresses in the Arunica supply chain. Inventory optimization. This component is a solution to SereniTea's that having simultaneous stockouts in the one channel and excess inventory in another. Financial planning. IBP ensures that these operational decisions are aligned with the company's financial targets. Next. Now, let's apply this IBP framework to the second strategic question. Should SereniTea to streamline operations? Our answer is clear and confident. Yes, the current product complexity is a major source of cost and inefficiency. To make this decision objectively, we use a tool called operator analysis, visualized in this chart. As you can see, a few flavors like XTR and Apple are our superstars, while the contribution drops off significantly with flavors like orange and lemon on the far right. This analysis is the centerpiece of a formal SKU rationalization process, which we will manage through a 4-step cycle within our IBP framework. Step 1, data gathering. This analysis immediately identifies our tail, the low-performing products like orange and lemon. Step 2, organize and activate. This is where strategic trade-offs are made. The output output is a clear decision for each SKU, keep, review, or discontinue. For this case, we recommend discontinuing lemon. Step 3 action. It includes a plan to sell the remaining inventory, update all company systems to remove the SKU, and develop a communication strategy for retailers and customers. Step 4 control. The IBP cycle is continuous. This ensures remains healthy and profitable for the long term. By using this structure, data-driven process, SereniTea can strategically reduce complexity, lower costs, and focus its resources on the products that truly drive the business forward.
In this slide, we use the ISCEA framework to set the stage. The situations, Senja, SereniTea's fruity brand, is growing rapidly in the e-commerce market. Sales are especially boosted by promotional events such as influencer campaigns, double date sales, and festive celebrations. Complications. These events trigger sudden demand spikes that the current supply chains cannot handle effectively. As a result, e-commerce frequently suffers from stockouts during promotions, while retail outlets are left with excess inventory. This imbalance causes lost sales online and wasted resources offline. So the critical question is, how can SereniTea build a supply chain that can manage these temporary demand spikes while also keeping balance across retail and e-commerce channels? This slide illustrates the concrete solutions SereniTea can apply to manage temporary demand spikes. Each slide build here represents one important action point. Scenario planning. SereniTea should simulate best, likely, and worst-case uplift scenario such as 40%, 70%, or even 100% sales increase during promotions. This allows the company to prepare for different levels of demand and uncertainty. Strengthen demand forecasting. Use event-based adjusting forecasting, where the baseline is multiplied by the uplift percentage for e-commerce. For example, if baseline weekly sales are 1,000 units and uplift is 70%, the forecasted demand during the events becomes 1,700 units. The integrated business planning, or IBP, with event calendar alignment, marketing must share promo schedules such as 11/11 shopping festivals, influencer campaigns, or Ramadan sales in IBP meetings. This ensures supply chains, finance, and production teams are aligned before demand surges happen. Executive decisions alignment. Leadership should align productions, finance, and logistic decisions based on these scenarios. This top-level alignment ensures that strategy and operations move in the same directions. Dynamic inventory allocations. Finally, prioritize e-commerce fulfillment centers during promotional weeks by directing inventory to the channels where demand is highest. SereniTea can minimize stockouts online and optimize channel balance. This slide shows the results of our event-based forecasting model for Senja flavors in e-commerce channels. From the table, we can see that baseline weekly sales rise significantly during promotional events. For example, apple, guava, and blackcurrant show the largest surges, with weekly demand increasing by 40 to 70% during influencer campaigns and double date sales. Flavors like lemon and orange also grow, but at a smaller scales. The implications is clear. SereniTea must prioritize e-commerce allocations for top-selling SKUs, especially for flavor apple, guava, and blackcurrant. Since they experience the sharper spikes, the company needs to adjust production capacity flexibility and prepare extra units in advance of promotional weeks. At the same time, SereniTea should temporarily reduce allocation to retail stores to avoid overstock while redirecting stock to online channels where demand is highest.
The next question is, how can the company balance retail success with the demands of real-time e-commerce? First, demand sensing integration. SereniTea can strengthen forecasting by using digital dashboard, marketplace data, and promotional calendars to track real-time sales and upcoming campaigns. This will help anticipate and predict demand surges more accurately, ensuring fulfillment centers are stocked before spikes occur and minimizing stock out in e-commerce. The second one is dynamic allocation. By enabling the transfer of excess stock from retail to e-commerce during demand spikes, SereniTea can prevent stockouts online while reducing overstock in offline channels. This creates better inventory utilization and more balanced service levels. The next is the decoupling point. It should be located at the distribution center to balance efficiency and responsiveness. From the factory to DC, product flow remains push-based and forecast-driven. from the DC to e-commerce. However, it shifts to a pull system managed by real-time orders. This keeps the supply chain efficient upstream but agile downstream. Fourth is inventory segmentation. SereniTea should separate stock pools for retail. Stock can be maintained at a stable level with lower safety buffers, while e-commerce stock should carry higher safety levels to handle volatility. This essential each channel gets the right service level without disrupting the others. And the last is agile e-commerce. For India fruity variant, SereniTea should fully adopt a pull system with the real-time allocation at fulfillment centers. This model is designed to handle sudden spikes caused by influencer campaigns or flash sale, allowing faster response and reducing the risk of stock-outs in volatile online markets.
Now we move to case 5, which focus on strategic changes. The first strategy is SKU rationalizations with integrated business planning. Why is this necessary? Because Senja has only 9 flavors but with different sizes and packaging formats. This translates into a very large and the result is production inefficiency due to frequent changeovers, excess inventory of slowing moving SKUs, lower forecast accuracy across the product line. And so, what should the SereniTea do? Analyze sales volume, make contributions, and forecast error to its SKU, prioritize high-performing combinations, consolidate or discontinue weak performance, standardize packaging to reduce complexity, and the impact will be significant, like a streamlined portfolio, lower operational costs, higher production efficiency, better inventory turnover. In short, SKU rationalizations allow SereniTea to focus on quality over quantity. The second strategy in case 5 is agile e-commerce fulfillment using demand sensing. Why is this critical? Because SereniTea frequently experiences stockouts in e-commerce while retail channels suffer from overstock. Traditional forecasting captures sudden demand spikes from influencer-driven campaigns. So, what should be done? Implement demand sensing using marketplace data, digital dashboards, and promotional calendars. Position the decoupling point at the distribution centers, from factory to distribution centers, from distribution centers to e-commerce, and segment inventory between retail and e-commerce pools with higher safety stocks dedicated to online channels. And the impact is faster response to demand surges, higher service level for e-commerce customers, and reduced lost sales, stronger competitiveness, especially among digital native Gen Z consumers. The third strategy addresses Aronica biggest pain point, battle shortage due to slow reverse logistics. Currently, production is often disrupted because returning empty bottles. This creates bottlenecks, increase costs, and forces SereniTea to purchase new bottles. Our solutions is a closed-loop reverse logistics system, which include optimized collection routes to make returns more efficient, incentive for retailers to encourage timely returns, collaboration with third-party logistic providers to stabilize bottle circulations, and the impact will be powerful. A steady and reliable supply of bottles, reduce production downtime, lower cost from buying fewer new bottles, a strong sustainability profile, which is increasingly important to for modern consumers. By closing the loop, Aronica not only solves its operational problem but also strengthens SereniTea's green image. SereniTea is at a turning point. The company has a strong product with a distributor network and loyal customer base, but without the right supply chain strategies, SereniTea risks inefficiency, chance, and it's in the fast-moving consumer market. Our proposed solutions are clear and actionable. First, rationalize SKUs using integrated business planning to focus on profitable high-potential products. To adopt agile e-commerce fulfillment powered by demand sensing and dynamic allocation to respond faster to Gen Z consumer. Establish closed-loop reverse logistics to Aronica to stabilize bottle circulation and reinforce sustainability. By implementing these strategies, SereniTea can transform its supply chains from being reactive and fragmented into being adaptive, resilient, and customer-centric. We supply queens believe this transformation is not just about solving current problems. It's about building a supply chains that ensure Serenity's growth, profitability, and relevance for years to come. Thank you very much for your attentions. We are now ready to take another questions. Thank you.